Visualization is an important part of any statistical work. Here, we will demonstrate how using visually appealing graphics to illustrate trends in your data can make a significant difference in its impact. To begin, we looked at data from the Congress database that was used in our previous homeworks. In particular, we focused on looking at differences in the number of representatives in Congress of different genders. We looked at the changing gender ratios from 1940 to the present day. We sliced the data by looking at gender in different parties over time.
This chart shows the number of women representatives over time from 1940 to 2010. The red represents the number of women from the Republican Party, and the blue represents the number of women from the Democratic Party, and the sum of each bar is the number of women in Congress. This visualization is helpful because you can clearly see the breakdown across parties due to the color differences in our stacked bar chart, and we can also see the increase of the total number of women over time.
This packed bubbles chart gives us a closer look at the breakdown of women in the Republican Party before 1950. We can see that the tiny pink bubble represents the women in the Republican Party. The reason why this chart is useful is that we can get a closer look at a particular time period, and this gives us a visual representation of the scale of the difference. This pie chart gives us a closer look at the breakdown of gender in the Republican Party after 1950. Visually, it makes sense to use a pie chart here because it makes the difference in representation easily visible, allowing viewers to put these numbers in perspective to each other.
Lastly, this bar chart is similar to the first one we looked at, but in this case, it is a breakdown of congressmen by gender, not party. Here we can see a greater trend of more women being elected to Congress, but nowhere near the same rate as men. This is useful for showing how the gender gap in representation still persists while at the same time being clear about the gains made by women in government.
We hope these charts have shown how taking the time to create compelling visual graphics for your data can be more engaging and interesting for your target audience. By using software such as Tableau instead of Microsoft Excel, we can better model the trends in our data and communicate our results more effectively.